they're going to try to really replace basically everyone. And some people have disastrous results. Some companies will be the guinea pig, and they'll try to replace their architecture team. And listen,
this is the Leo Climaco podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Leo Climaco podcast. My guest today is Chris Schwenk. Did I say that right?
Got it.
How are you, Chris?
I'm great. Yeah. Easy drive up from Miami, and happy to be here.
I'm happy to have a bald brother on the podcast.
Yes. Made me into the man I am today. I lost it very early.
How old were you?
I started showing signs when I was like in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So did they put you on finasteride then?
They tried to. And
Yeah.
I just I don't want any of this. Just let it go.
Yeah. See, I tried for a few years and it was, I don't know. I mean, I have no side effects now, but at the time you don't really know, if there's, you're just kind of entering your sexual prime, and it's like, okay, this might have sexual side effects. I'm like, well, I don't even know what that would mean. So I finally got off of it because, my case, I was still losing hair on finasteride.
Really?
And so I was like, I don't think this thing's even working.
Yeah.
I got off of it, and it was like, it was helping a lot. So
wow, that.
Yeah, so it was quick after that, and I finally shaved it, and it was kind of a good lesson early on because it was like, here's something I couldn't control. Mm-hmm. So what can I control? And I'm just gonna max out those things, and
right.
That would be obviously the physique and the career. It's like the only attributes you can max out are those two things.
Correct.
As a guy, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have those things dialed in. And so roundabout, it was a good thing, maybe, And people say, you look better. They've only seen me in high school.
Right.
With hair, and they're just like, you look better without it. I'm like, okay.
I always get that. Oh, but you have a good head. You're lucky. You look good with ball, Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it's, a lot of guys lose it in their 30s. And they're just like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. I'm like, all right, well, when you're 16, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, well, all right, it's not so big.
Right. From now on, I have no more hair. It's very hard to switch.
Right. Well, it's like your youth is gone when it's not even over. And you're like, well, what
16 was early. Mine was 19, 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 16 was early. It's early. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I must have, now when you learn about the science, we didn't
It's
really
all blood
know
flow.
it then. It's blood flow. It's sensitivity to the hormones as well. So so luckily, because you're sensitive to it, you can now maybe gain muscle easier. So I've always had an easy time gaining muscle. So that part is good. But yeah.
The give and take in life, right?
Exactly.
Where'd you grow up?
Philly. Well, it's South Jersey.
Yeah.
Lived in Philly for 10 years till I finally made the move up here. Northeast COVID was,
Shit show.
Shit show that went too far.
No.
And it was time to leave Philly. Also, at the same time, so I was I'm the staffing recruiting business. And, I was a top performer for a while. And then you just kind of what else can I do? So I started my own thing. And so I started my own thing and then moved to Miami, which is the place to do that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's two different universes, being a top performer versus an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah.
It's like you figure it's kind of the same thing. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's like as a top performer, it's kind of like a hard work contest.
You have one focus.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur, you have a million things that you got to figure it out and put fires and the unknowns and the cost and
Yeah, I call it's a game of just taking $5,000 to $10,000 L's and just being okay with it.
Yes,
That's what I didn't know.
100%.
Right, because you're just paying for mentorships and let me try this. You just need one to hit.
If I can tell you how many times I've just burned $10,000 to $12,000 on shit that I thought was gonna work and nothing happened, man.
Yeah.
I'd probably have like a $250,000 right now.
Yeah. But the ones that did work pay you a lot more than
100%.
So you're like, that's the scary thing.
Yes.
And, when you look at, if you're just like a high level W-2 person, even, collecting multiple, 100,000 per year, take a $5,000 L, even if you're making $300,000-400,000, you're like, that's like hurts your whole year. You're like, it devastates you. But as an entrepreneur, you're just like, damn. All right, what's the next one? Like,
I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she's someone that the whole idea of entrepreneurship scares her, right? She's very, very safe with her money. No, I'm going to do what's secure, what's safe. I'm not going to risk anything. So I was telling her, I interviewed someone yesterday that part of what he does is he will place an influencer in your company. He has a very large network of very popular influencers that he works with. He was telling me that one of them, you probably know him, he's a popular Twitch streamer.
okay.
Travels the world doing videos. 70,000 for 10 minutes.
Jeez.
But for the right person,
Sure.
that can have a very high return.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It doesn't end. You start off, it's the $5,000 to $10,000, at bats.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, I just need one to hit. Yeah. Well, then once it hits, now it's the $20,000 to $50,000 bats.
Exactly.
And then it's the $100,000 to $1 million bats.
Exactly.
When you get to a certain so it
It
just never
just
ends.
keeps going up. No, it never ends.
I'm like, oh, geez. I just thought I needed one to hit. It's like, no, you need one to hit, and then you keep going and do more.
Correct.
So yeah,
It's almost like the base hits keep elevating, right? You keep taking base hits and they elevate and they elevate.
yeah, yeah. No, it's and the other thing is, before it was okay. You're a highly paid performer, and you live a decent lifestyle, but you're saving, you're investing. Like that's the whole game. Now it's kind of like this 3-card Monty with funding and business credit cards and hoo ha ha, like it's so that's the type of thing. Like you can't just focus on the one thing. You're doing this type of stuff as well, which is wild, and then the content stuff, which we know takes.
Which is why you need a really good team.
Yeah, 100%.
I think part of being an entrepreneur is knowing how to delegate, right? Work on what you're best on, right? If you're good at selling, if you're good at marketing, if you're good at producing, if you're the face of the company, just do what you're good at and delegate the rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big Dan Martell buy back your time person. So
Yes.
that's, to me that's been such a game changer. It's like, as soon as you're doing a basic task, stop yourself and be like, wait, let me just do a Loom video and then send it to my VA.
Right.
And then that is off your plate forever. And you start loading that up, and now all the basic tasks, you wipe those off.
Yeah.
Now you're just eating the steak. You're not eating the the vegetables.
Correct.
Right.
For a long time, I was doing my own bookings for the podcast. Man, it was so time consuming.
Yeah.
It became its own thing. I had to hire someone. Connie is incredible. Like if I didn't have Connie, none of these podcasts would be booked.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time. It's so tedious and time consuming.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, that's what my VA is doing. He's in the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I'm in the tech recruiting space. I have a tech careers podcast. So basically the plan was, I wanted to start a podcast, but I wanted to interview my ideal client.
Okay.
So, and a lot of these guys in tech,
Who is your ideal client?
Whoever, tech executive, hiring manager, HR,
Man.
could be anyone that brings people on.
8 years ago, I would have been your ideal client.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you were hiring a lot of network people.
I had a best friend recruiter that I used to work with. We became friends because I found him he found me on LinkedIn. Anyway, through a span of like 6 years, I worked for 3 different family offices,
Oh wow.
and he helped me. He placed me in all three.
Oh, okay. He placed you.
He placed me.
With like executive recruiter type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was a IT manager, then an IT director for these family offices,
Yeah.
and loved it. Super stressful, but I loved it. Learned a lot because I got to work with billionaires, billionaire families, and probably the best 3-4 years of my life. It was like 100 times better than college.
Oh yeah.
Because I got real world experience with families that are several $1 billion in wealth,
Yeah.
So then, man, like that guy really changed my career because he saw the potential in me. And I'm not sure if it was like strategic, but he knew when to tell me when to switch companies.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, I think you've been there long enough. You've gained a lot of experience. I have this other job for you that's gonna elevate you and escalate and make you grow even more.
Yeah.
So he really looked out for me. I've never met a recruiter that was really clearly he was making money on it.
Sure.
But he was also trying to make me more money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But at what point did you make the move? 2 years? Was it 3 years?
It was about 2 years, 2.5 years.
That's
Yeah.
a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because you've gotten maybe a couple promotions and maybe it's time to, now you're more attractive to other companies. And
Right.
that's when you make the jump.
Exactly.
Level jump and comp jump.
Exactly.
So that's what I work with a lot of, people like yourself, your former self.
Right.
And a lot of them just, it's like they treat it like a job.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get job results. You have to treat it like your business,
Right.
Your career. And, I'm kind of teaching people now, like right now, it's tough to get hired right now. And the tech space is brutal.
Why?
It's less opportunity but people still getting hired.
Is it more outsourcing?
There's nearshoring, there's offshoring. That was there before. It's,
Right.
It's kind of just more people are on the market. It's a client's market. It's a company's market.
I understand.
So it's going to be, they can be picky. They can take their time.
Right.
You got to be a perfect fit. And people are used to it wasn't that long ago. It was the COVID market, which is a candidate's market. That was easy. It was just like, yeah, oh, wow, 20K more. Great. Yeah, let's go. Oh, okay. Oh, now these guys won't. And people were just making moves left and right.
Right.
It's not like that anymore. And in the past, I could just refer someone, kind of like your guy did. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I know he may not even be a perfect fit for this, but I say he's good, so
Right.
talk to him. And then that was working really well. Doesn't really work anymore because you have to be a perfect fit in tech because they can get the perfect fit. They can't,
It's out there.
it's out there right now.
Yeah.
And so I teach people, I do like a career coaching as well, where it's like, let's niche down. You're not a project manager. You're a Salesforce project manager with a specialty in this module. And therefore, when that opens up, you're the perfect fit. And, it kind of is an added bonus in tech right now. You can make good money, as you can make good money
For sure.
just working the jobs, kind of rising up to even a management level with
100%.
you.
Yeah.
Bonus equity maybe down the line.
Yep.
But also there's a ton of money in the education space. So it's like an added bonus of niching down and making yourself the authority on whatever it is, cloud, DevOps, Salesforce. Now you get the content out. Now you start a mentorship. I mean, people like QA, it's a skill, pays whatever, 80 to 120,
Yeah.
maybe high end 140. This woman's making $1 million a year on her mentorship for just teach people how to get into QA.
Wow.
So it's like, that's really the game changer for people in tech. So I kind of teach people how to do that. And
That's awesome.
yeah. I mean, that's like, you just can't possibly make that in a
No.
job.
And I mean, like, the pool of leads for you is endless.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, so many. I rose up with so many guys who were trying to use tech as a stepping stone. A lot of tech guys think that way. Let me go into tech. Let me have a career. let me do 5, 6, 7 years and then move on. Like,
Yeah.
take that lesson and go somewhere else and really grow my own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, I know people that they go to startups, they get the shares there,
Right.
get some nice equity. And, that's one way to level up. Some people have, shot up their net worth. Like their salaries weren't great at the startups, but they believed in it. They worked hard and it paid off. So I've seen like there are a lot of ways in tech than, just like salary and move up and
Right.
bonuses slightly more and stuff like that. So I think it's still a great opportunity. AI will change things. It'll replace some people, but someone's going to have to operate it. So be that person to operate it.
Right.
And, just kind of stay ahead of it. So that's another thing I kind of teach people as well.
What do you think will be the first sector within tech that will have the highest layoff because of AI?
They're going to try to really replace basically everyone. And it's, some people have disastrous results. Some companies will be the guinea pig and they'll try to replace their architecture team. And listen, maybe it'll go well, but I think it's going to have some bad results. And then people are going to freak out and hire all the people back. And some companies, the way the speed things move these days,
So fast.
it's so much faster.
It's crazy.
So you flop like that, boom, you could tank the whole company.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to replace, you've seen the AI for
Agents.
customer service.
Yeah.
The bots, they're still not great when you're talking to them online. They're going to try to replace it with the voice.
They're already doing it. Yeah.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're going to try to replace help desk, customer service. But people, we'll see. We'll see. The next big thing is not always what it's made out to be. I'll say. Right.
It'll be funny because it'll get to a point where having a real human person answer the phone is going to be like, oh my God, there's actual human talking to me.
Yeah. No, it's going to get to that point. Like, just give me the human, give me the human, give me the human.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, here's my problem.
Right.
And you see with AI, it's getting good if you prompt it correct.
Yeah.
But you have to, that's a skill in itself.
It is.
And people are getting better at it. But when you see a real AI engineer start hacking at it, you're like, oh, okay, there are levels to this. And he's pulling stuff out that may just say, hey, send this email or something. There are levels that people are going to have to figure out. And the people that get on it first, let's say you're a Java developer, you could say, okay, I'm going to focus on this part of the code. But, I could have ChatGPT do this if I prompt it correct. It's doing that like grunt work for me. And now I'm focusing on the meat, So it'll replace people.
Yeah.
I think offshore, like the VAs, that I think they're going to be vulnerable. Customer service are going to try to replace everyone.
Right.
I think they'll bring some people back. Same with help desk and that type of stuff.
How like a hybrid system, right?
Yeah. So and it'll be some people managing a lot of AIs and kind of doing that. So, you never know. It's the unknown unknowns. That's the really weird part. So we'll see.
Man, it's crazy. The benefits are so high, right? They don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't take time off.
Yeah. But how much automation are you using right now?
Not much.
Okay.
I would say like descriptions, maybe some pictures.
Sure.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, so they actually have in the employment space, they have automated, okay, you put your resume in, it'll apply for you all these places. You're like, wow, okay. What's the downside? It just sending out hundreds of applications for me. But it just becomes a nightmare because now qualified people are just in a sea of like unqualified people, so they're not getting seen. And your resume is just going out to places that, they don't always list the salary. So like sometimes you're applying to these like 50K jobs. You're like, what is, I'm getting in these interviews, I'm jumping on it. This is terrible. So
that's
kind
crazy.
of like we're back to direct outreach already. It was like AI's doing all this stuff and it was a mess. So it's direct outreach,
Wow.
So
How do you make your resume stand out? You put glitter all over it, right? You put little stars on it.
I mean, you make it match the job description because that's the other thing. The AI is filtering people out. So you have to be very cautious of that where some people just, they don't want to take the time to update the resume for every job. And like, that's what you have to do because that's what the competition's doing.
Right.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
So, the AI filtering could just throw you right out. Or it could be someone, a gatekeeper that doesn't know, isn't technical and, doesn't know the keywords are the same thing as on the job description. So you're not getting the technical people. You have to make it match that job description every time. So, but the LinkedIn, I think, is the most important now because you can get those warm referrals. Like if someone was, say you were hiring on the network team and someone was like, wow, this job you posted looks great. They reach out to you. If their branding messaging is on point, say, hey man, like I'm a good fit. Like, can you set me up with a recruiter? And you're just like, damn, yeah, he is a good fit. Hey, talk to this guy. Well, guess who's going to the top of the pile? The person that you said, like, talk to this guy.
Right.
They don't know who, they don't know if it's your friend's kid. They don't know if it's some guy you worked with. I was told to talk to him. Great. He's moving right through. So LinkedIn becomes super, super important just for that, for the branding aspect.
That's crazy. Which would you say, other than LinkedIn, is the best platform? Indeed or ZipRecruiter?
I don't really use ZipRecruiter at all.
Okay. Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I've been using Indeed for years.
Indeed, Dice is good.
Yeah, Dice is good.
Especially for tech jobs.
Yeah, I remember Dice.
I would say
Monster, is that still a thing?
Monster's not great for tech jobs.
Yeah.
Career Builder's like kind of the king
Okay.
overall.
Yeah.
So I would say get on that, but I mean LinkedIn is where people are really getting ahead. Because the resumes just have to. The resume.
It's a whole profile, right? It's your business Facebook.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Yeah. And that's what I tell people. It's not, people look at it like, oh, LinkedIn, like, okay, boomer, and like, it's such a lame social media. Yeah, people post lame stuff, like, but you have to look at it as marketing for your career. It's like your marketing team. It's not social media. If you like Trump, if you hate Trump, keep it off.
Right.
Because, liberals hire and Trump supporters hire. So why would you close yourself off by mouthing off about either side?
What did Michael Jordan say? Republicans buy sneakers too.
Right. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll keep this stuff to myself.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, so that's a lot of the work that I help people with, because a lot of people just don't. LinkedIn, they have the grainy photo. They have no banner. I'm just like, that's valuable real estate to sell yourself, and some get it, some don't. So
How did you see this gap?
Yeah, just dealing with people where I'm, because I get sent, I look at their LinkedIn before the resume, and if they don't have it or if it looks kind of shady, there's a lot of fraudulent people in tech. I don't know if you ever talked to a fraud. Did you ever talk to a fake candidate in your career? Maybe not networking.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
A fake candidate. What does that even mean?
Like another person jumps on the Zoom and like the camera goes down like, hey, can we just do this audio? Because my camera's not working. Like, what do you mean your camera's not working? It's built into the laptop, right? So, and then so someone else takes the interview, you get it, and then you show up the first day and that person doesn't know anything.
What?
Oh, it
I've
happens-
never heard of that.
It happens all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the more technical roles, data. So
How does that make sense? You're trying to get hired for a job that you're not qualified for, and you get there day one and you don't know shit.
well, you can skate under the radar for a couple months. You're still getting paid. Like, they still have to pay you if you show up and they hired you.
There's that whole learning process, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but some people can, take cover for 6 months and maybe someone on the team can be like, okay, this guy's know anything. Like, I'll help him. And after 6 months, you're like, okay, I just have to do these tasks, and then maybe at a year, you kind of know what to do.
That's insane,
So,
Chris.
Yeah. And the
Wow.
problem is it's like, it's my name on the line,
Yeah.
They move on to the next client,
Right.
but
But your reputation is ruined.
I'm ruined. And,
Yeah.
and, these big companies, I mean, you can make $100K to $1 million a year, a month, $10 million a year on these accounts, on these big Fortune 500s.
Wow.
But a couple of those mistakes, and they're like, what do we need this guy for? So I have to really play detective with that stuff because the stakes are super high. So
Yeah. No camera, no interview.
yeah. No photo on LinkedIn, no interview. There was one guy, the only guy I submitted without a LinkedIn. I go, he sent me his resume and he's like, yeah, I want to apply to this. I'm like, yo, send me your LinkedIn. He's like, I don't have one. I go, well, I'm not submitting you. He goes, you know who I am? I'm Raj. I'm like, okay. This guy was so cocky. He's like, put me in front of your client. You'll see what happens. I was like, okay. I was like, you know what?
Okay, Raj.
Fuck it. I was like, this is Raj I'm dealing with. Sure enough, Raj got the job. He was that good. So that was the one time this guy was so cocky. I was like, I got to try this. Like, it's worth a shot. But every other time I'm just like, why would you not? Like, you're either fake or you're kind of stupid because this is the best way to get better jobs. So why are you not active on this platform? So
Has it been better since Microsoft bought it?
it's the same. I
same,
didn't really
yeah.
notice much of a
Okay.
difference. Yeah, I think, automation has another thing it's kind of ruined. Do you still use LinkedIn at all or?
Yes, but my assistant is on it for me. I'm not
Okay.
actively on it.
So you don't really see what's
No,
going
I
on.
don't.
Yeah. So for a while, the automation, you'd be like LinkedIn. It's essentially for getting a better job.
Right.
Right. It's an under the radar way to post your resume
Yes, of course.
under the guise of social networking. Or,
Right.
Whatever. Right. So that's really what it is. But suddenly, like fitness trainers were just like in your DMs, like, "Hi, I'll give you. I help entrepreneurs lose 30 pounds in 30 days." I'm just like, get out! Like, what are you doing? And it's like, boom.
Polluting my messages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Terrible. So that part got worse. I can't blame Microsoft on that. They bought it like 10 years ago, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it is a lot of cringe. A lot of cringe updates for sure.
And they make a lot of money on it. Like, it's expensive. It's $65 or $60 a month.
Yeah. No, the advertising, I mean, you can advertise on YouTube or Instagram, like as little as $20 or
Yeah.
something. LinkedIn, it's like 200 minimum. I'm like, damn. Wow. Okay. And then LinkedIn recruiters, $1,000 a month. The sales navigators, couple $100 a month. So
Wow.
I mean, it was a great purchase by Microsoft because it just must be a cash cow for them.
Oh, yes.
Especially the recruitment space. It's like, tons of money, billions flowing through there. So
And tech is so big.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it bigger than medical?
I think so because it's integrated in everything.
Right. It's in medical.
It's in medical.
Yeah.
Right. It's in this. It's
Yeah, it's in everything.
It's in everything essentially, even retail. You
Yeah.
know, they give you the little, swipe.
For
mobile
sure.
Swipe
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like everything. So, yeah, I think it is. It's just going to get bigger too. So, we'll see. I mean, as all the power consolidates to a few companies, and we'll see.
What is what's your top 5 companies, or better yet, what are the top 5 companies? Apple, Amazon, is that it? The Netflix?
Yeah, the FANGs. Now, like 5 years ago, incredible. Obviously, if you jumped on
Right.
Nvidia in 2020,
Oh, forget it.
you made $10 to $20 million as a developer. Because the stock went so bananas.
That's crazy.
So the FANG companies I found have dialed back some of the stock options because it's like, okay, we could get away with like a tenth of what we're giving people because they just think our stocks are going to keep going way up. So, and maybe it will. Yeah, the FANG companies for sure, because those stock options are just, and a lot of times what they do is it'll be all cash offers. So if you're at Apple, they want to pull you to Facebook. You have great stock options. You're just like, I ain't going anywhere. And they're
Right.
just like, okay, we'll give you $500K the first 2 years, each year, and then we'll kind of shift you to more of a salary plus stock options plan. And you're just like, damn, okay. So I mean, you could make a great choice, vest your stock options with the one, or just collect big money with the other. So, and when you talk about mentorships, a lot of those guys are just like, I used to work at Facebook, so pay me, $2,000 and I'll teach you this skill. And that's, they're
It's
killing
a
it.
badge.
Yeah. So those guys, I mean, the net worth of those guys is now like pushing 20, 30 million.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, with the stock plus now these mentorships, you're making $1 million a year and just keeps growing. And those things just build on their self now.
The power of these companies. It's incredible.
Well, and you look at the university system as that maybe contracts,
Right.
Implodes, maybe we'll say.
Better word.
Yeah. But its own doing, because
Oh, 100%.
once the loans were guaranteed, they just hired a ton of administrators for 100 to 150 and just like, okay, like that's where all the money's going.
Right.
So as that
Football
implodes-
coaches.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, the spend is great. Now they're paying the athletes at least. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
I agree.
But, as that kind of shifts down, we're going to see these online education, stuff like that just keep, I mean, that's going to be the biggest kind of industry that's going to keep growing is education.
Do these companies, are they still requiring a bachelor's? Or is that fading out?
Yeah, it's fading out. So it's making, you look at what they did in 2010. They guaranteed the college loans because they said that's unfair that someone could pay for it for these people that can't pay for it. So the government guarantees it. So now, then the colleges immediately raised the price. So the price went up, and then it was like
Thieves.
right? Yeah, it's our money too,
Right.
And so the price went up, and now the value of a bachelor's went down. So it's the only thing where it got more expensive and less valuable at the same time. And now people don't even require it at all. You could do you could do a boot camp. You could do anything. So
Or cert.
yeah, $1,000 and you're guaranteed. I talked to someone in ServiceNow. Get a ServiceNow cert. You can make 100, 150 an hour as a BA.
Wow.
Not a manager. I mean, think about what you're making as a manager. Like they're making $6,000 a week to just, okay, write the requirements and boom, 5 o'clock they're out.
That's crazy.
pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. So that's kind of the state of the tech industry right now. But
How big is Tesla and Elon and his effect in the tech world?
yeah, so I mean, I'm despite the stock and the earnings down, I think that once the political stuff blows over, you think about what he's doing with the car, right? So you pay him for the car, right? Like every other company, but now he's using his cameras to map out the entire country and the world. And now he's going to have, and he's so far ahead on the self-driving market because now think about all the cars he has.
It's crazy.
Putting data back into the system. So pretty much everyone will eventually have to lease that self-driving software from him. So like, think about how big it will be then. He's going to have the robo-taxi, and then he's going to, and eventually, supposedly, he's going to allow you to just kind of Uber out your car. Your car will be earning for you, self-driving while you're going to work or whatever.
Wow.
If that happens, then it's like, now your car's making you money. So
That's
we'll see if he
crazy.
can pull all that off. But
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
He came out with those cyber cabs, the small little gold
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Was that Robotaxi? So he had
think
like
it was
a bigger one and then the Robotaxi, right?
Yeah. The robo taxi, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
They
a
called
little,
it cyber something, didn't they? Cyber cab.
yeah. So there's a bigger one, the Cybercab.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a bus, sort of.
Yeah. Bus.
Like a weird looking
bus size.
trolley. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll see if he can pull it off. I mean, you're going to get in a car without a steering wheel. It's scary.
I think the technology has to be like 100%,
Yeah.
or 99.9%
Right. It's
for
like
most to be comfortable.
the flying taxis in Dubai. We'll see. I'll let other people go first and make sure it's all-
It's basically a massive drone, right?
yeah.
But
So
like-
the wind picks up. Like, you're in
I'm
there.
not a fan of helicopters, so I wouldn't even dare go on one of those.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. Especially, see what happened to Kobe and then the thing in New York. It was like,
Rest in peace, Kobe. That was crazy.
yeah. Yeah. That was LA traffic for you. It was like, that was the most efficient way to get to
Right.
those practices.
Right.
They'd be sitting in 2 hours of traffic. So it was like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
It reminds me of the Hamptons when people
Yeah. Started the helicopter from New York.
helicopter from New York to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Rich people.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then, it's like, that's why it's like the value of living in the moment because, the guy had the rest of his life ahead of him and it all
Isn't that
went
crazy?
down. Yeah. it's
Him and his
sad.
poor daughter.
Yeah. That's why it's like, take the risks now. Like we were talking about before with like, take those $5,000 shots because I think someone on one of the 9/11 flights was worth like $100 million, So
Wow.
could end like that.
Overnight.
Yeah.
No.
Take a shot, right?
How long you been doing this?
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Long time.
How'd you get into it?
Just kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about tech. I didn't know anything about recruiting. Didn't even know it was, most people don't even know it's a thing,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fun. Ups and downs.
What do you like about it? To stay for 15 years.
I like the people,
Okay.
helping people. That's why like I want to do more of a career coaching thing
Yeah.
now. Like we were talking about with the LinkedIn, because
Yeah.
it's nice to fill an open job for a company, but it's better to like what your guy did for you. Like, hey man, I got you. Come here.
Yes.
You obviously would never forget that.
Never.
So
Went back to him every time.
yeah. And versus just like a company needs a Java developer. Oh, I don't have anyone, so let me find it. And they're like, oh, thanks. This guy's good. Like,
Right.
Versus like, I want to help the person. So that part I love about it, but it's ups and downs.
What are the downs, would you say? How
So-
low does it get?
The downs are, like COVID, it was funny money. It was hire 1 million people. It was crazy. And then, kind of towards halfway through Biden, interest rates started to creep up, inflation now. People are hiring less, and when they're hiring less, then it's like the mass layoffs. So now the market's flooded and people are hiring less. So more people for less jobs. So it was like you're riding high and then,
Crash.
so- yeah. So that's why I'm always like, a lot of people talk about like staying in shape and it'll like make you all this money. And I'm just like, you can't really prove that,
Right.
but because I've pretty much been in shape the whole time and there's still ups and downs. So like, it's not like,
I guess it just makes it easier, right? You deal with it easier.
yeah, you deal with it easier, right? You're going to be less sad if you're in really good shape when the market goes down. So I'm just like, that's the real benefit for me, versus everyone's like, I don't know. It's, you start focusing on your health and then business. I'm like, maybe, but
If you're not healthy, there's no business.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
exactly. Yeah. That's why it's got to come first. That's
Yeah.
the first investment,
100%. If this is not good, I can't do anything,
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't help anybody.
Exactly. So, that's why I think it's the best ROI for life. Some people will then say it's also like, oh, you'll do more business. I'm like, maybe. I don't think it's exactly like that, right? What have you seen? You're focused on the gym. I see all the time now.
Yes. I was just there prior to coming here.
Yeah, same.
So I'm there. I try to do 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I can't always do that every week, but I'm there at least 4 times a week.
Yeah. No, same. I think for men to set themselves apart, it's pretty much the easiest. It's the most controllable and easiest thing you could do.
Correct. And you know what? I used to freaking hate it. I used to hate it.
Yeah.
I used to hate the gym. Now I love it.
Yeah.
Like I learned to love the pain. I learned to love going. I learned to love the process of doing my pre-workout and my protein shake and my creatine. And I enjoy doing all that,
Yeah.
And I get there, I just smash those weights and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my girlfriend knows, like, some days she's just like, just go work out. Like, because I'm just like, she's just like, go, like, just go, like,
on your way.
I know we don't have time.
Here's your towel.
I know we have like a half hour to get ready, but just go.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
go release some steam.
okay. And then I come back like,
All happy.
yeah. I think for that's like, again, that's the biggest ROI for life.
Yes, it
for
is.
men, because it instantly commands respect. Because there's no shortcuts.
Your self-respect, right? Forget others. It's your own self-respect. You feel good about yourself and you respect yourself.
Yeah, no, 100%. I always tell like young men, like building big shoulders is just a life hack for them.
Yes.
Like you stand out so much more, and like
doesn't matter what size.
yeah. And obviously shoulder to waist ratio is like, it has been proven to be more attractive to women.
Of course.
So I'm always like, just do those dumbbell flies. I do those every day because I'm like, this is the easiest way to like look better than most people.
Right.
So I think to me, that's the first thing people should focus, especially men, get those shoulders
100%.
Right.
I think look, putting that aside, right? Putting aside building muscle and looking good. If you're over 30, if you're not making muscle, you're losing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think just that should be enough for anyone to go work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clearly, bodybuilding is not for everybody.
Right.
But just go be healthy.
Yeah.
Go make sure that you have enough energy to move through your day, that when you get to 60, your knees aren't fucking up, your hips aren't fucking up, your back's not hurting you.
Yeah.
You know?
And you have to lift heavy weights. You could lift light weights a lot. And,
Yeah.
You know, it's, but you're right. I think what's called sarcopenia. I think it's like the loss of muscle.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, if you don't stimulate, like your body doesn't want to maintain muscle. It's like annoying for it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So it's
It's
like,
heavy.
It's just like, let's just get rid of this. This is annoying. So you have to like stimulate the muscle to tell it like, hey, we need this to survive. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right. So
I love watching on Instagram these 65, 70-year-old ladies who are super fit, doing pull-ups and going to the gym every
Deadlifts.
day. Yes. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
You would never see that 20, 30 years ago.
no, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy what, I mean, I think that's what like our generation, you know, for some people will be.
100%. I think millennials will definitely be that generation that's going to be older and fit.
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, you see the benefit and it's like you can look so much better.
Right.
And you can, you know, pick up your grandkids off the floor. So it's crazy how like you think about our grandparents, how old they looked and how young
Super
people
old.
look now.
At a young age, at like 55, 60, they look so much older.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing now. They showed these are like high school or college guys, and they look 45.
Isn't that
Like
crazy?
it's just crazy how
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know if it's technology or if we're just aging better. Our cells are, I don't know,
Yeah.
replicating faster. But I don't know what the fuck, you know? I'm not
you
sure.
taking anything right now?
I'm on
at this age?
TRT.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've been on TRT for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've had all the kids you're gonna have.
I'm done.
You're done. Oh yeah. See
I'm
that?
finito.
You know,
Yeah, I'm finito.
when I finish having kids. Oh
I am finito. I wanted 4 kids. I'm settling at 2 and
Yeah.
very happy at 2.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, my almost 3-year-old is at a great age right now where we can travel. You know, just the idea of going through pregnancy again. I don't go through it, but I go
Sure.
through it.
Right.
I like, you know, if you're a good dad and a good husband, you go through it with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's super hard because I mean, look, they're growing a life. For our second pregnancy, my wife slept most of the pregnancy because he drained so much energy from her. She was so tired. So we had 1 kid and I'm doing everything, you know, having to run around, pick him up, drop him off, cook, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, it becomes very, very stressful.
How'd
quickly.
you balance the business with that?
Only God knows.
You just did
Only-
it, right?
I
You just
did
made it happen.
You know, I
right?
just did it.
Yeah.
It was very little sleep. You know, I'd be up nights working from like putting my kid down at like 7 and working from 7 to 12, 7 to 1, you
Yeah.
know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once I have all the kids that we're gonna have, it's my ass is gonna look like a pincushion. with all the stuff I'm gonna be doing.
I have a great doctor for you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk.
Yes.
Once that moment happens, yeah, I have to
So,
maintain the natural.
100%.
Which is
So my
difficult.
doctor is very anal about it.
Yeah,
He checks my blood pressure every week. I do blood tests every 6 weeks, just to make sure that everything's okay.
yeah. You're doing how much you doing? Like 200?
I do 200 every week,
Okay. Yeah, and by the end of the week, do you notice it? Is it
a
noticeable
little
difference?
bit. So I'm doing it tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow at noon. So
Yeah.
by today, I feel a little bit like
feel it.
a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But then tomorrow,
As soon as he injects it,
is your staff
my
like,
body
"Oh,
feels
oh,
it.
He got it.
He's back.
He's back. Oh
Yeah.
boy, he's shot out of a cannon.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to do all that. I'm trying to do as much natural stuff.
How old are you?
41.
Okay.
right now. Yeah,
That's a good age.
yeah,
It's a good age.
yeah.
a
So,
good age.
but I mean, you have to maintain the natural. I mean, my testosterone is still high naturally, but it
Mine wasn't.
takes a lot.
I'm 37. I begin at 35 because my levels were so low that I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
I was so fogged. I was so tired. I couldn't do anything. I was in. I don't know. I think it was like 230. my
Oh,
levels.
that's
Super low.
Super low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 1,050, almost 1,100.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff you're
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Yeah. I've gotten up to like 900 naturally
That's
in the last couple
awesome.
years. Yeah.
You must eat really clean.
Yeah. It's a lot of steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of red meat, a lot of eggs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And basically it's just lifting weights, lifting legs below the kind of like waistline. Anything you're dipping below, it's stimulating. So
The squats.
squats, kettlebell swings,
Yeah.
Just anything. If you do 10 sets of 10, I would say for men, do 10 sets of 10 squats. It could be super lightweight, even like 135. By the end, it's like your heart's
For sure.
really hard.
Yeah.
But you'll wake up that next morning like a kickstand. Like that will stimulate your test like you wouldn't believe.
That's
you're gonna be
crazy.
sore as shit, but
For sure.
yeah, that's definitely a hack for people that are feeling a bit off. 10 sets of 10, 135. If you can't do that, not even 95, 100. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
It's a good hack.
yeah.
And eat that steak and eggs.
Eat that steak. Yeah, it's those animal fats for sure.
I could never be a vegetarian. A good friend of mine, he's vegan and he's super fit. But like I think he needs a lot of supplements to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you could just eat meat.
Yeah.
And you have to your B vitamins go crazy because you're too low, and then it holds on. But like vegetarians, vegans, like their Bs are way out of whack, hormones way out of whack.
yeah.
So it's like you're injecting all this unnatural stuff when you could just eat some meat. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
How many kids do you want?
We're gonna start with one and keep going.
That's awesome. That's a great answer. I ask people that, they give me 4, 5, 6. Bro, start with one.
Yeah, let's get the first.
That's great.
and then we,
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
100%. I love that answer.
Because I used to have that answer, and I see my sister has one and second on the way, and it's tough. So like
It's not easy.
it's not easy. Right? So
Diapers are not cheap. Daycare is super expensive.
yeah,
My kid goes to private school, super expensive.
yeah,
These play dates are expensive.
yeah.
Everything is expensive.
I know. That's yeah.
I put my kid in camp for the summer. He's going to 2 camps. He's going to a week in soccer camp, and then he's going for like 6 weeks to a camp in his school. It's like $3,000.
God. Right. There's your couple $1,000
Yeah.
shot, right?
Yeah, like for camp.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I remember someone posted it was like a meme of like an old McDonald's menu. And the prices were just like
15 cents,
it's
20
like
cents.
Nothing. I mean, this is only like 20 years ago, and it was like $1. They had a $1 menu. They don't have that anymore, apparently.
No.
And they were
What's
just like,
worth? What's $1 worth?
yeah,
Maybe 50 cents right now?
maybe not even that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like your tipping money is now like, up to like $20.
Yes. Yes.
So
That's a great way to look at it, Chris.
yeah, you give a guy a
Yes.
10, he's gonna be like,
Right. It's like giving him a 5
yeah, like what
a couple
is
years
this?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like 20 mandatory.
Wow. Pretty soon it'll be 100.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's like in Miami. It's
Yeah.
you want to get around the door. It used to be 40, 60. Now it's like
Easy 100.
it's like okay, yeah. Here you go. Yeah, it's 100 every time. So
They'll look at your watch like, what watch you got on?
yeah, yeah. Come on,
You could
come on.
afford it.
I'm like, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Have people been giving you pushbacks about going back to the office? How was that for you, that whole transition during COVID to going remote, and then COVID being done, and then now companies having to force you back into the office.
Yeah, that's been a crazy. I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff because they hired all over the country,
Right.
and then it was like, oh,
And
interest
people
rates
moved.
are up. Yeah, well, yeah, people moved to the shore
Yeah.
or to the beach or whatever, and then it was kind of like, we got to fire a bunch of people. Oh, mandatory back to the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, like I kind of moved.
Like 2 states over.
Yeah, it's like we'll give you $5K. It's like, get out of here. It's like that's a layoff.
Right.
You know, I know Amazon did that with a lot of people. Like they didn't go public with layoffs, but they hired people. They hired strategic people remotely that they needed at the time, and then they had strategic back to office mandates for those people, and they overpaid them too. So they left their job. It was like,
Wow.
now I'm made an extra $100K at Amazon. Oh, this is great. And then it's like, yeah, move to Seattle, or you got 2 weeks. And it was like, okay, you're gonna give me an extra $50K? What? 5. Okay. No thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
If they went back to the office, they would keep their job, right? Or no?
I mean, maybe they'd move across the country, and then it was like, we really thought you were gonna leave, so you're fired. I mean, they could still do that too.
It's true.
So no, I saw that.
Wow.
We've seen, a lot of the banks do hybrid because, the banks had to because they own the office leases.
I have a lot of banker friends, and a lot of them are in that hybrid model.
Yeah. Yeah, because they want to set the tone. Because a lot of people are like, yo, I'm not paying my office lease. No one's going back. And the
Right.
banks had to be like, well, we're going back tomorrow. So you have to pay. And get your people in too, because that's what we're doing. So it was kind of like
I guess that makes sense, right? They had to set the example.
they had to set the example. Well, and again, it's above, a lot of people complain because now their individual job has to go in. I knew people going into the offices and sitting on
Right.
Zooms like all day and then going an hour home.
Wow.
Totally pointless.
Yeah.
But, a lot of if there's a city wage tax, they made you go in, there was like a minimum, I think it was like 2 or 3 days a week. So suddenly hybrid, the city is like, hey, we're giving you tax breaks, get your people back. And it's like, shit, they're going to be so mad. So it's like, okay, what can we do? It's like, well, it's got to be minimum 3 days a week. So now you're working from home, avoiding city wage tax. Now you're going an hour in 3 days a week. And you're paying that extra couple percentage.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's above a lot of people's pay grade,
To make it worse, in New York, they added a fee on all the bridges and tunnels. I don't know if you heard about
I saw that, yeah.
Yes. So now there's an additional cost for you to get to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the subways became so
Oh, it's insane.
crazy.
New York's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had the driving tax or whatever. I don't know if they still have that. There was a
They
lot of
do.
controversy.
They still have it. I think they're still debating it.
Yeah.
But it's still on,
Yeah. And it's like, well, no one wants to use the subway, so we'll just force them.
basically.
That's
Subways
one
are
way to do it.
jam packed.
Yeah.
I think it's between 8 to 10 million people that ride the subway daily.
God. Can you imagine?
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was there for 25 years
Really?
in New York, yeah. That's where I grew up
When did you come down here?
4 years ago.
Yeah. That's about when I did. I came 3. Yeah. I don't miss the Northeast.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
I'll go back,
Sure.
go visit.
I don't
Go
miss
catch a
it
Yankees
when I'm
game or a
back.
Mets game or whatever, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where'd you live in New York?
Queens.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Queens.
Yeah.
You a
Yeah.
Phillies fan?
Phillies fan. Eagles.
So you were happy this year?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. Like no one cares about sports down here that much. I mean, Miami, it's like
Yeah, nobody cares.
no one cares at all.
No.
Like, I mean, one of my best friends is from Detroit, and one of the years my first year here, it was Eagles Lions. I was like, "Where are we watching the game?" He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Never mind." I'm like, "Okay," because in the Northeast, it's like that's
Oh yeah.
your Sunday.
Yeah.
It's built around communal watching the game. And
Right.
everything.
It's funny because all my sports friends are from New York.
Yeah.
We have the group chat.
Yep. Yeah. So I've my one really good friend's from Chicago, and I was like, okay, I actually met a normal guy here. Like,
Right.
we're
We can
talking
talk
Bears.
sports.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay. This feels like home. But yeah, most people don't care because it's especially for the Eagles all Sunday. Okay, it's a 1 o'clock game. Great. We're there at the bar, but here it's like you're gonna give up a beautiful Sunday 1 o'clock. Like
Right.
I'll just go to the beach and like. Got it on my phone. I'll watch Red Zone or whatever.
Right.
So it's massive change in
Massive
mentality,
difference.
Just
about every entrepreneur I interview don't know jack shit about sports.
no.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
No. But it's like, I talk to a lot of young men, and it's like, the high level people here, if you were like, hey, my fantasy football team, should I start Joe Burrow or they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, they don't know anything about. Meanwhile, like up there, guys are like half their week is like fantasy football.
Oh my God, that's their entire life.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's the talk about ROI? Like, what's the ROI on that? Nothing.
A good buddy of mine is on 3 leagues and managing 2 of them.
What a colossal waste of a man's time.
Colossal.
Like fine, have one team, but then do more productive stuff too.
Right.
And
it's time consuming because guys get injured. You gotta sick guys.
Right.
And then you gotta trade them. It's time consuming.
I knew guys, I guess like the waiver wire opens at 3 a.m. on
Wednesdays.
They had an alarm.
Yes.
With their 4 teams.
Correct.
And Wednesday at 2:59,
Yeah.
they're like
Let me go
picking
get
people
this
up from the
player.
waiver
100%.
wire. I'm like, this is.
Early bird gets the worm, baby.
I'm like, put that into your career. What are you doing? Like, you have the devotion. Like, you're strategizing.
Right.
Like, why don't we just manage one team and then spend that energy on something more productive?
I actually told him, look, I know you love this, so go do a YouTube channel on it. Right? Like, let's be creative.
Yeah.
Let's go do some content around this. Like, do some picks.
Yeah.
Like, let's make this profitable for you.
Right.
You enjoy it so much. Let's get a return on it.
Build an audience too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. At least if you're doing that. I mean, like the video games, like it's pointless, but then some guys get paid a ton of money just to have people watch them play.
Isn't that
So I'm like,
crazy?
all right, well, that's good.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go play video game. You want to watch somebody else play.
Yeah. Yeah. I know people, you'll see with your kids probably like they don't buy their kids the game. Their kids just watch other people play and just comment.
Oh, yeah. My kid's on YouTube all the time watching shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you got a PS5 right there. You got a Nintendo. Like, can you go play?
Yeah, play it yourself. Yeah. Yeah, it's like everyone our generation, like the parents were like, oh, this is so stupid. I'm like, yeah, well, not for these people.
No, these guys are superstars.
Yeah.
I think these video game streamers are probably one of the most famous influencers, like Kai.
Yeah, Kai
or
Cenat.
the other guy, ISO Speed.
Yeah, Speed, Aiden Ross.
Yes.
Like
These guys are super popular.
And it's like $100 million. Like they'll move their
Oh,
stream channel
yeah.
to something. It's like $100 million play,
Easy.
which is wild. Because
Wild.
I mean, like I don't watch it, but you'll see clips just in your
Right.
space.
On my feed. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it's just a guy in his bedroom. Like the bed's not even made. I'm like, this is it.
Playing video game.
It's crazy.
And then
Yeah.
they do these marathons.
Yeah, for a month straight, right?
Yeah.
I guess they're just getting sponsored left and right. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
No, and they make shitload of money.
yeah,
He'll make $1 million.
yeah. In a day.
Yeah.
You know?
Easy.
It's wild. But no, you're right. Like this guy should be he's doing all the research,
Right.
become a personality in that space.
Go share it.
Yeah.
You know? What's next for you, Chris?
Yeah, career coaching. Gonna start speaking on stages.
That's a
in my
great
space.
idea.
I think it's like the best way to just raise your authority level very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's the play.
Do you go to career fairs?
No.
No.
I mean,
Is that still a thing?
I guess it's you know, I always found them pointless.
Yeah. Same.
I just never really got the point. You know, I
Yeah.
do some of the networking events in Miami, a lot of tech networking. You know, with networking, it's largely a waste of time, but maybe you catch that one, get that one guy's card that's useful. But
Do you run ads?
not for the recruiting. Some of the podcast, I'll run ads for that.
What about coaching?
Gonna start to.
Yeah.
It's fairly new. You
Okay.
know, it's only a couple weeks old.
Got
We
it.
built everything out.
That's going to be powerful for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, the podcast, again, it had the dual purpose of getting the ideal client.
Mm-hmm.
And, and again, a lot of these tech guys, like, were you ever asked to be on a podcast in your tech career?
Never.
Yeah. So I wanted to
Never.
give them that kind of feeling, the Cool Miami Guy podcast look. And, so it was
That's
ideal
so
client.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, the people that are into it are like super into it.
Yeah.
And some people, it's still, they don't understand. They're just like, it goes right over their head. Like, why would I do that? I'm like, well, it might be beneficial for your career. You get your name out there, get great clips. There's like, what? I don't care. I have a job. I'm like, okay. For
Right.
now.
These guys don't see it. They don't get that.
No.
You know, it's about building a brand. Does not matter what you do. Doesn't matter that you're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that you have a career. You can still build a brand.
Yeah. And like I was saying, with the education space,
Right.
people make people at a way lower level than these people that are making $1 million a year off their education business. So it's like, maybe you should get some clips out there,
Yeah.
But it's like, for some people, like personal brand is just like a cringe word, I guess, still. But the people, like,
Why do you think?
I think it's like, what am I, the Kardashians? This is so weird. What? I'm uncomfortable with this. But I think pretty soon, I'd say 2 to 5 years, it's going to be everyone. Like Ty Lopez says, you're either in AI or you build a personal brand. Like, that's it,
That's it. I agree.
So I think
I think
It'll
those
shift.
people will be left behind.
yeah. And they're going to find out real quick.
Yeah.
Like, wait, let me get
Yeah.
back to that guy about doing that podcast at the nice studio with the clips.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people in tech. They're slow to come to it, but the people that are just like, when can I get there? I'm like, okay, yeah. So, but it's building an audience of now job seekers. So I'm like, that's the coaching business. Help them with that, and then the stage is going to try to get it in front of the colleges, kind of help kids there, just get my clips out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many colleges do you go to or do you want to go to?
Yeah, start with the local ones. Probably try Philly too, since I was from there. I went to University of Maryland, so probably try there as well. And
That's a great play.
Yeah. Well, Epic Talks last night was speaking on stages, getting paid to speak on stages. So I was like,
Who was there?
I forget his name, James. He was Secret Millionaire on ABC years ago.
Okay.
That's all he does is he gets paid to speak on stages and teach people to do it. But again, he's right back to the education space.
Right.
It's like when you max out the income in whatever you do, then you start
You
the
go
education
teach.
business. And now and eventually that replaces your main income and you can pick and choose on that and charge even more for that. So full circle.
I see you doing it. And you're good, bro.
Appreciate it.
I can tell you that you have the knowledge, the experience, and that you care about your client. I think that's the most important thing.
I definitely do. Yeah. Because a lot of people are struggling. I know people out of work for 2 years.
That long?
Yeah. Like kind of right when that point I was talking about. When
Yeah.
interest rates started to go up and things started to contract. You know, they got the boot and then they were like, I haven't looked for a job in 5 years. What do I do? And, you know, they're trying to do the
They're
old
raw.
ways. They're not learning and they're not adapting to what you have to do these days. And
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs are going extinct. That's what I'll say.
What would you tell someone like that watching this right now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people are just kind of like being sad sacks about it, and they're not learning. Okay, well, how are people getting hired these days? They're not educating themselves. People are just saying, "What's a bad market?" It's like, okay, it's a bad market, but some people are getting hired. So how do you become one of those people? You know, it's like, and like even in my business, I'm guilty of this. Like a lot of people are guilty of it. You know, when business is up, it's like, oh, that's all me. And then when it drops, like, I mean, the market. I mean, you know, okay, well, was it the market when you were going up? Oh no, that was me. And it's like, oh wait, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I would say learn, adapt, and you know, figure it out because, again, people are still getting hired.
You want $1 billion idea that just came to me?
Absolutely.
Create a course to retrain these people.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting with coaching, and then we're gonna eventually, like, you know, starting one-on-one and figure out what works, what doesn't, and then eventually you get to the course, and then kind of like a done with you to then a you do it. So, yeah, and start the community, and you know, kind of like I'm taking the advice that your fantasy football guy
Yes.
that he should take.
He should take
Right.
100%.
So,
Like, bro, go speak about that.
yeah.
I'm gonna call him today too. I'm like, bro,
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, you have this
And
knowledge.
you know, right. And I think right now is the perfect time because football's 2 months away.
Yeah.
Get that going.
Yeah.
By the time football gets here, he can have a little community. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, people will pay for those picks. Too,
Yes.
You know. So
Fantasy football. Are you in one?
no.
No. Have you ever been?
I do a picks league.
Okay.
You pick 5 games.
Those are
with the
fun. Yeah,
spread.
yeah.
So it's kind of fun, and it doesn't take me much. It's not the hours. You know, I'm like, okay, let me see who's playing. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like this. So I do that still, but no, not fantasy. It's just too much of a waste of time.
Same. I'm technically in the league every year, but I don't manage it. I'm just there because they need me as a number, you know,
Yeah.
to be part of it.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are
Yeah.
still doing it. But then others, again, 4 leagues. I'm like, dude, there has to be a better use of your time than
For
this.
real.
So
And it's like 4 leagues with 4 different rosters, right? Because you're never gonna have the same players in every right. Never gonna happen.
and that's the dumbest part because
Right.
like every football play, something good and bad happened to one of your teams
Right.
simultaneously. Well, my quarterback scored, but my defense just let up a touchdown. You know, it's like
I'm sad. I'm happy.
yeah, it's like so pointless. But yeah, you know, they love it.
What would you say to Chris 15 years ago that you think could have changed your path? Or a better question, what do you wish you knew 15 years ago that you know today?
Books, 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 books. Yeah, 100%. You know, I wasted so much of my 20s. I would listen to entertainment. Before Howard Stern kind of fell off the map,
I still love that too.
I would listen to Howard Stern every day.
Too.
You know,
I was there when he left K-Rock and went
really?
to. I was
And
at
went to
that.
Sirius?
I was there at Union Square. He was giving out free Sirius radios. I was mad young. I was in my teens, but yeah.
yeah. I listened to, hundreds of hours of Howard. Maybe thousands. Because it was like,
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
yeah. Like you talk about, like I'm shitting on the fantasy football guys. Like had I listened to half the Howard Stern and put books into my brain instead, I'd be so far ahead. You know, to me, there's just nothing to just blast you up, career, life-wise.
In your defense, it's not totally useless because he does do some interviews that you could learn some from some people.
Yeah.
There's something there that you could take. It's not totally, but I understand
Some
what
of
you're
the
saying.
interviews were interesting.
Yes, for sure.
know?
Yeah.
It wasn't all pure entertainment, but a lot of I just have all this knowledge of like Benji on Howard Stern. I'm like, I didn't know like Atomic Habits. I know about Benji on Howard fucking Stern.
That's so funny.
You know, it's like, so that, to me, that's, I'd just be like, dude, you're reading these 10 books and you're not going to watch any entertainment until you do. And then and just keep learning, and mentorship, like the stuff we
Invest
talk
in
about
yourself.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's a different mindset as an employee, which I was back then.
Should it be?
It's got to be different. You just, if you're paid after taxes, you can't be taking all the wild shots that we take, because people that I know are high level employees are like, I got to tell you, man, like, I got to respect, like, you just try new shit all the time. I'm like, dude, that's everyone I know. That's all they
That's
do.
what we do.
That's what you have to do.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Like,
We don't know how not to.
Yeah.
It's almost like we don't want to be left behind, right? So we got to try new shit.
I know. You just
that FOMO.
just need one. You just need one or two to hit, and when they do, it's like, oh, okay, great, paid for everything, and
Yes.
then some.
Yes.
10 times over.
Right. But you got to have the balls to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I'm happy. I had that time in my life where I was investing in the market and crypto and REITs and stuff like that. I was never big in real estate. My dad was a financial advisor, so it was all in my dad's, everything's bullshit with the market. I'm like, okay, he's done well in it, so great. I have that.
It's nice having that grown up.
Yeah. So I have that to fall back on always.
Yes, that's
A
awesome.
lot of money invested, but yeah, I wish I took definitely some more shots. Because just the gap between you and someone more successful is not IQ points, it's knowledge. Well, how do you get that? You could just try it yourself, try and fail yourself, or you could pay someone to teach you.
Right.
And
That's the hack.
That's the
That's
hack.
the ultimate hack.
That's the ultimate hack.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like we were saying, like you're just gonna take L's. I've taken a lot of L's, but my W's, it pays for everything. So that's the one thing I would say is, I didn't know about any of this stuff back then. I should have, I would have downloaded Audible on whatever device I had back then. 15 years ago, and just downloaded all the things and just said, go,
Yeah.
Because for me, that's, I'm an Audible person.
Me too.
Because
I
you
love
work
Audible.
from home.
Yes.
To me, it's, I can't be working from home all day and then like sit and read a book for an hour. It's like
can't.
just too much sitting.
I agree.
So you have to get your steps in or get in the elliptical and just throw on an Audible. I do the stairs too. It's just me and the stairs. There's nothing to look at. And I'm just like digesting that information. And to me, that's where you're just leveling up. To me, that's been the biggest game changer for sure. So yeah, get on books if you're not. And I would hear that from people a lot,
I know.
and I just ignored it, and I ignored it, and I ignored it. So that's the first thing.
You got to be ready for it, I think.
You do.
You
Because
know?
I did try at times.
Yeah.
And it just, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you're not aligned with it, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And do you do the personal development stuff, NLP?
So I've done NLP and hypnosis training before.
Okay.
So I know
I just got into
exactly
that.
what you're talking about. It's super cool.
It's super cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you get into it, you're like, everyone that's not doing this is like missing out. Oh my gosh.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's like finding Jesus.
It really is. It's incredible. I mean, I had no idea.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
I interviewed a guy on my podcast, Chris Vasquez, a year ago, and he was just preaching personal development, meditation, NLP, and I'm just like, all right, dude, like, relax, we get it. It didn't click until like a couple months ago, and now I'm like, to me, it's like brushing your teeth or going to the gym. It's like
Right.
I have to meditate to my NLP script. And that is like, you come out of there, I mean, it's like,
It's a whole different
you're
state.
a new man.
Correct.
It's like taking the TRT. It's the same rush,
Yes.
because to me, it's like, I would
It's a
describe
reset button.
it's a reset button, but you're seeing yourself doing whatever you want to do.
Right.
So I think the easiest way to describe it to people would be, if middle school Leo was having a problem, and then high
He had
school,
tons.
it's like, it'd be like if high school Leo went back in time and was like, dude, these problems are nothing. Like, just do
Right.
this. It's because you see yourself in the future achieving it, and you're like, oh, okay, like I'm doing it. So now your problems become easier. You just handle them
Right.
because you're like, I am that guy in the future. And for those 15 minutes when I'm, in the quantum realm or whatever they call it, some of at the highest levels, they believe you're actually traveling to like the future,
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still getting there with, I'm like,
We
I
are
see it.
all tapped into source or energy, whatever it may be, right? And I think if we meditate or vibrate at a certain frequency, we can tap into anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that, to me, that's been such a game changer.
The power of visualization.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Do you work with your clients on that type of stuff?
A little bit.
Okay.
Those that are ready.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people have a lot of layers to peel through first before they can even see it.
Yeah.
But those that are ready, 100%, we dive right in.
Yeah. And you see the
Oh, yeah.
trajectory just totally change on them.
Yeah. I think, said this, some basketball player, I think it was Steph Curry, where he was saying that he visualizes the ball going in before shooting every time.
Yeah.
You know?
Believe it.
And you have to do that. The ball already went in. All you're doing is the motion to get it there.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, it was like, the guy that I'm still working with on it, Mark Dama, you know, he's throwing out all these big numbers, like $1 million a month. This is what this guy does. And I'm like, dude, I can't, I'm having trouble like seeing it. He's like, what's stopping you from getting to $1 million a month? I'm like, I can't see it. So then he went through the whole process and I'm like,
Of breaking those barriers.
yeah.
Exactly.
Cause he's like, well, I'm just like, what's stopping me? Like, it's not even in my brain.
No, it's totally subconscious.
Yeah.
You know,
And now it
something
is.
you heard as a kid, someone say that money is the root of all evil, and that got stuck in your subconscious, and you know that created a block.
Yeah.
Some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you see a lot of people have like that kind of limiting belief or
100%.
yeah.
I think most people they think they're scared of failure, but they're really scared of success.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's so scary about success? Leaving their old life or?
I think all the above. I think becoming a new person, having the ability to be free, I think it's really what people are used to being constrained within their frames of and their parameters of what they think they can do and what their limitations are.
Yeah.
When you break those frames and you tell them, listen, you are the creator. You can make your own life. That scares them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much freedom. What do I do with that? Where's the limitation? Where are the barriers?
So how do you kind of, without giving away the sauce?
One bite at a time.
Yeah.
You know, one bite at a time. We take this one step at a time, right? We have you embrace it one moment at a time. Don't think too far out, right? Life is not there. Life is here. Mm-hmm. We'll get there. And when you get there, you'll be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Just got to keep doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Keep challenging yourself to consistently break through small barriers of fear, and you get used to them, right? And you keep breaking through until one day success is here and you're okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like just talking to yourself, like I talk, like the future me talks to me, you know,
Yes.
it's like, and I'm like, what do I, you know, when I'm in that state, you know, it sounds wild. Like I'm a very logical, you know,
Doesn't sound wild to me at all.
Yeah,
I work with a
so-
spiritual healer for the past 3 years.
really.
Yeah, where we talk twice a month, and she reorganizes my energy and my aura and puts me back together, basically, energetically.
Yeah.
So I believe in all that.
It's the type of thing with the books where I was like, this isn't for me. And then you see like this high level person does it, and you're just like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Maybe it is for me.
Right.
Maybe I'm just going to dive into this stuff.
Right.
And it's been unreal. Like I haven't missed a day since. And
That's
like,
awesome.
We have a restaurant opening when we go back to Miami, me and my girlfriend. And I'm already like, okay, how can I fit in my 15-minute NLP? Like it's just becoming like a bodily function for me at this
I
point.
love that. You should add that as part of your teaching.
Yeah. I think that's what's going, you know, some
Yeah.
of that stuff. I got to fix their LinkedIn first before they're entering any
I can
quantum
help you
realm.
with that, by the way.
Yeah.
I have an entire graphics team.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because that banner on LinkedIn up top, a lot of people will just put like a set of trees or whatever, like one of the stock ones.
Right.
I'm just like, use that to sell yourself. What are your top 4 skills? Like, let's see it up there. So
I'm going to show you
clicks,
one of my
boom.
clients' banners. Just so you can really. I agree with you. I think people don't really understand how to configure LinkedIn, and they get lost in it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the social media no one cares about. But when you need it, you care about it.
And if you are someone that you are a W-2 employee, you need LinkedIn.
Oh, 100%.
Freedom to reign. Oh, I can't find them. Either way, I'll show them to you later.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what we do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we help. That's part of what we do. We
Yeah.
help them completely redesign their social media presence, including LinkedIn,
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean,
and we
it's so
match it
needed.
to LinkedIn, Facebook.
Oh, okay.
We make it all uniform.
Yeah. And that's going to be like anyone I'm working with, that's what we need because we need to have them across everything to be the authority in whatever
So
GRC, cybersecurity, whatever it is.
Let's create a package
Yeah.
where I give you an affiliate link,
Oh, 100%.
right? And you send me your clients. We'll get it done for you. It's a win for everybody.
Yeah. I could build it into the offer as well.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, there we go.
Done deal.
Awesome. And
Chris-
the NLP, we'll get to it. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll get
yes,
them on
exactly. That's the tier level package.
that. Yes, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
you can't just share that secret with anybody.
No,
that's
no,
the
no.
secret sauce.
No.
For that, you got to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's-
knew you were probably into it, but someone that's not aligned with that, they're going to be like,
What is
quantum
it?
realm? What are you talking? You're a time traveler now? Like, I'm like, trust me. I don't know.
Bro, go read a book.
Yeah. Start with these
Go
books.
read a
first.
book.
Yeah. Start with the books. Yeah.
That's my favorite painting behind you, because it gives me that that quantum trippy,
Yeah.
universal discovering yourself.
The world melting.
Yes, through the eyes
Yep.
of God.
I love it.
Chris, man, you're very insightful, bro.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Yeah, man.
This is awesome.
You are very, very knowledgeable, bro. And then I think like I interview a lot of people, and a lot of people are focused on businesses or other high-end entrepreneurs. I love that your focus is the regular person.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, because a lot of it's the largest population. It's the largest market. You know? And I think they get forgotten sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to get you on my podcast too, because obviously you have the tech background. You've transitioned to something much
100%.
greater.
Let's do it.
So you could be a good like blueprint for people. We talk about your network experience.
Yes.
We could talk about people want to work with you. Like I think that'd be awesome.
And I have no bachelor's. I have an associate's and tons of certs.
There you go. College worthless.
It really is.
Yeah.
I got to a place within tech where I was making 200 grand a year plus bonus.
Right. Without any of that.
This was
stuff.
10 years ago,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's when you kind of retired from tech.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have to come on the Tech Jobber podcast then.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I literally got to a point in my life where I had to have a sit down with my family member and my friends. I no longer do IT. Don't come to me for IT needs. I had to have that conversation
Yeah.
because they saw me as the IT guy.
Yeah.
And I was trying to break away from that so badly that I had to lay the law and put my foot down and say, guys, I can't help you anymore.
Yeah.
Go find your own IT guy. That's not me anymore.
Well, so you walked away from 200.
I did. To go start my own company, plus bonus, which came out to sometimes 250 or 275, depending on how good that year was.
Right.
Yeah, to build a company that I broke even year one, made 200 grand year two, kept rising, made a little over 600,000 year three, almost broke $1 million year four, broke $1 million year five, and now we're almost at 2 million.
Wow.
So I own a therapy agency for kids with autism based out of New York.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife and I, we own that together.
Yeah.
So she is a licensed board certified behavior analyst. It's a fucking mouthful.
Yeah.
So she has a license to modify behaviors. So about 10 years ago, she worked for a ton of our competitors now. And she didn't like how they did business. You know, she didn't like how they paired the therapists and the clients and how they treated the clients. And at that same time, I was exploring entrepreneurship, right? I was looking for an out of IT.
Yeah.
I made good money, but I was stressed. I was getting phone calls at 3 a.m.
Right.
Issues.
Network's down.
Exactly. I was tired of that. You know, I wanted a life. She wanted to get pregnant. So we took all of our savings and we pushed all the chips in.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And 7 years later, it's all worked out.
Yeah.
COVID almost took me down 3 times because there was no school.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on.
So they couldn't come on site.
Correct. And we had to switch to a virtual model and we had to involve parents. How do you
Was that a
teach?
disaster
It was a
with the virtual?
disaster.
Yeah.
How do you teach therapy through Zoom? It was very, very difficult. And they weren't paying me.
Yeah.
It was this whole mess. So the roller coaster rides of up and down.
Oh, yeah.
And giving up a really comfortable job that I could have been in for the rest of my life.
Yep. 100%. I
To
know
go-
some people have.
Yeah, 100%. I was working for an incredible I was a one-man show. I traveled on private planes to Aspen, to Switzerland.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I was like,
So
you
it
know,
was a family office in New York.
family in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
He is a hedge fund billionaire.
Wow.
Owns multiple homes, has 3 kids, and I managed everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It was super stressful.
Sure. You took the shot and look at you now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you
This
for
was
coming.
great, man.
This was great.
Yeah. We'll have to get you down to
Just
Berkeley.
let me know when I'll be there.
Sounds good. Yeah. You'll love the studio.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Guys, if you are someone in the tech world looking for a new job, connect with Chris. He will guide you to the right place. He will let you know how to navigate this crazy tech world, and he'll get you the right job for you. Chris, do me a favor. Look at that camera right there. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on obviously LinkedIn, Chris Schwenk on LinkedIn. Also have the Tech Jobber podcast. Leo's going to be a guest. We're on YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff. And then on Instagram, you can find me Chris_Dello Staffing. And yeah, reach out if you're looking to do anything in IT.
Incredible. Guys, go follow Chris. Go follow me. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. We'll see you guys next time.